What's up, guys? This is David, and today we will be talking about Bad Boys LA from Zeus Network, Season 1, Episode 7. Before we get into this review, I ask that you all like, subscribe, and comment. And let's get to it. There's a lot to address about this episode, and unfortunately, I'm gonna have to get on a few people, a few individuals, because they were acting like straight up fools in this episode, but you know. I mean, y'all can let me know what y'all think in the comments, but keep it respectful because we all have opinions. But I got mine about this episode about a few individuals. It might even be an unpopular opinion about a certain somebody, but I don't even care. So, yeah, let's get into it. So, first of all, the episode starts off in continuation of the last episode. I know I didn't do a video for that or any of the past 6 episodes, I guess. Anyways, no, the episode starts off continuation of Milan versus Carry On. They call a house, of course this was in the middle of their house meeting that they had called. I'm gonna keep it real. It looks like Carry On lost this one. He I don't know. It looks like he lost. I'm not even gonna lie. But one thing I noticed is after this fight, Milan in his interview or his confessional, he just goes, you know, he says, we need to be grown men, we need to stop this shit. But my thing is, it's a little bit late for that, Milan. Like, you just ran up on Carry On in the last episode. After, the whole argument or whatever. I'm like, now is not the time to be talking about you need to be grown men. It's not a good look after you just ran up on him to be talking about all of a sudden like, oh, we need to be grown men. No. No. You ran up, so don't be talking about you need to be grown men. But anyways, I'm gonna get into a lot more of my opinions though after I get through the recap, because how this is gonna work is I'm gonna recap this episode and then I'm gonna give my final thoughts. But yeah, let's move on. So after that, Relly and Carry On go into a different part of the house, and they're like having a one-on-one basically about what just happened. And so I see Percy wants to be on camera too. This is Percy. Basically, Relly was like, well, Milan did give you a fair opportunity, to do what you do, basically, I mean, and he did, because they got face to face. Carry On did this weird thing where he tried to run up like in the last episode, and it was weird because he just like ran up to him in that corner, but then like stopped, and then security of course grabbed him. I'm like, I don't get what the point of that was, but anywho. But yeah, Relly was right. I mean, Milan did give Carry On the chance to get his one in or whatever. And of course, Carry On was talking about, get your real one, get your real one. I don't understand that part, but anywho. Also, Carry On claimed that they don't give them the proper chance to square up, which is not true. Because if you notice on these shows now, like on Zeus Network, a lot of times you'll see security get involved, but then all of a sudden, like, especially on this one, I've noticed, security will get involved, but then, there's at one point you see no security and they just square up or whatever. So, I don't know if that was the right choice of words, Carry On. You definitely were given the chance to square up in that instance. after that whole back and forth with Carry On, honestly, it's a lot of back and forth with this one-on-one because Carry On is really just not hearing anything. He's delusional, basically. I'm just gonna keep it real. He's delusional. I don't care what anyone says. He's delusional. But after all that, Relly is like, well, where do you go from here? And of course, it's more back and forth, like, and then Relly just straight up is like, you know what? Are you going to just keep getting beat up? And then of course, Carry On's like, nobody beat me up. Nobody beat me up. But, sir, I don't know if anybody, I'm pretty sure everybody peeped this out, but if you notice after that fight, Carry On had this like red eye. I don't know if he got like pink eye or something going on, but he didn't have it before the fight. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but he didn't have that before the fight. So, I don't know. I mean, of course, that doesn't mean that somebody got beat up necessarily, but like, it doesn't look good in your favor if you're trying to say you didn't get beat up or nothing. But once again, I'll get into that in my final thoughts. So, they're going back and forth between like conversations downstairs and, wherever Carry On and Relly are. Of course, they're, still the other guys are like in the house meeting area. I'm not even gonna really touch on all that because there wasn't really anything. It wasn't even really anything going on there, like in the other room. It was mostly the conversation with Relly and Carry On that I was focused on because I mean there wasn't a lot being said in the other conversation, but So, oh yeah, in the other room, all of a sudden, Moolah he just all of a sudden out of nowhere is just like, all right, we need to get this shit rolling. We need to get this shit rolling. Y'all need to, where's Carry On? Where's Milan? I think Milan was back at this point already. He came downstairs jumping over shit, acting like a damn gorilla from Planet of the Apes or some shit. You know how he does. He just walks around like that the entire fucking time when he gets pissed off. I'm not even gonna lie. So, I guess he was back at that point, and then, he's like, Mullah's like, where's Carry On? And then, where's Carry On? Get him down there. We need, fuck all this shit. We need to, get our shit together. We need to talk this shit out. We need to get this shit hashed out. And I do agree. They do need to address those issues, but I don't know what it was with. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. It felt. I don't know. I don't know. So then Mullah decides to go upstairs, to where Carry On and Relly are talking. And he goes, he just looks at Milan and Relly, and he's like, no, fuck all this shit. We need to do this. And then Relly's like, who's we? I'm like, yeah, I agree. Who's we? I agree. Who's we? I'll get into that in my final thoughts, but so Relly's like, who's we? And then he's like, we need to get through this. We need to get this house meeting rolling. We need to get this shit on the road. We need to get this shit over with. So then they go back downstairs and basically once again Relly's like, so where do we go from here? Now that y'all fought, And Carry On starts laughing, and Relly, of course, is like, it's not funny. What's going on? And then Carry On says, you know, it wasn't even a real fight, and that Milan missed. Milan missed. Sorry about that noise. I don't know what's going on. I think somebody got a vacuum going on. I live in an apartment. I am so sorry. But Carry On goes, Milan missed. And I'm like, okay, so is that eye we're seeing? Is that what is that? Do you just got pink eye? Like and it most certainly didn't look like he missed. I'm just gonna keep it 100. Like it did not look like he missed. Carry On. Carry On. Carry On. So, anyways, Mullah is like, you know, we all just need to do better. He's like, we're all, you know, you all are good people, like, you know, this and that. And I'm like, that's like one of the most positive things I've heard Mullah say about everybody in this cast so far. I'm just saying. Like, okay, that's a real positive change for you, Mullah. I'll give it. Then really says, you know, he thinks they both were in the wrong and they both need to apologize, which once again, I'll just save that for my final thoughts. But at the end of the day, no. I'm just gonna save that for final thoughts. I'm not gonna go into that. But let's see. Oh, so Milan opens up more with Carry On in the room. So he's like, you know, he's actually like, you know, I felt, you know, that someone who I liked, you know, was talking bad about me, and then, you know, and then Milan does apologize, but I don't think that he apologized necessarily to Carry On per se, but it was more of like a general apology for how he acted at the fashion show when he ran up on Carry On when they got there. So, you know, he more or less apologized to everybody in the room, you know, about how he acted at the fashion show, but he didn't necessarily apologize to Carry On. And we all know Carry On isn't going to apologize for nothing. Like, he even straight up said, he's like, I ain't apologizing for shit. Which anyways. So, you know, during this, of course, Carry On is making faces and laughing and stuff like that. He's just doing a lot, like, you know, for this. And I'm like, well, this really is not going anywhere, this whole conversation. Like, it felt like the most pointless house meeting. It really did. It felt so pointless. Because you got this one over here acting like, you know, like he's, you know, Mr. I don't fucking even know. But he's just doing a lot. Like, a lot in this episode, I feel like, overall. Just saying, not even just the house meeting. I felt like he was just doing a lot in general. I'm talking about Carry On. Milan, we already know Milan thinks he's the main character anyways. You know, he wants to be the Natalie Nunn of this franchise, so I'm just saying. So next we move on a little bit to Milan giving out Milan gives out his sex toys Milan gives out his sex toys that are. So Milan, this is his idea of house gifts or whatever, but he decides to take it upon himself to bring a bunch of dildos that are molds of his penis and these pocket pussies that are his asshole apparently, and I'm just like, this it was awkward to watch. I'm not gonna lie, it was very awkward to watch. So he, of course, he gave those to the gay men of the house, because the straight man wouldn't have been going for that shit. It would have been World War III up in there. But anyways, so for the straight man, he just gives them the pocket pussies with some lube. But I don't know, even that was awkward. Like, why the hell are you giving out sex toys to everybody? I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but that is not no house gifts. I'm sorry. It really put me in the mind frame of the Bad Girls Club season 10 when Shannon was trying to give, them chocolate covered strawberries and shit to everybody, and they didn't like her. But this was a lot more awkward to watch, like, in my opinion. It was a lot more awkward. And of course, you had Gutta over here. I love Gutta. He's so funny. You had Gutta over here with the he's shoving the dildo in the pocket pussy. He's going He just cracked my shit up. But I don't know, I just thought it was weird. Let me know what y'all think about it. But I don't know. It was very much narcissist. I don't know. It's like also the narcissism behind it. I don't know. It's crazy to me. I know if I was living in that house, like, I would have been very uncomfortable during that whole thing, and I don't know. But anywho, so then we have another Relly and Carry On one-on-one. Carry On. That's what I'm gonna start calling him from now on. This scene right here is what really did it for me. And if you can't tell by now, Carry On is the one I'm gonna have to get on in this review, because he really irritated the fuck out of me in this episode. So anyways, so we have another Relly and Carry On one-on-one, and I feel like it was just basically the same as the first conversation, but although Carry On was being extra annoying in this one, like the shit talking, it just got worse. It got worse. So Relly did say exactly what I'm saying right now. He's like, you're doing a lot of talking. And he is. He's talking so much, and it's like, well, where's the follow through? You know what I'm saying? If you got all this shit to say, where's the follow through? And Relly is like basically like, I understood both sides, but he's like, you ran up, he ran up, but you did nothing basically. That's basically what Relly was trying to say. You didn't do nothing when you ran up, So then Carry On says, this one was weird for me. I'm not gonna lie. Carry On was like, well, I did it for a reason, real bad boy shit. You all find out in a little bit. And I'm like, what? What? Where do we do that at? Like, what? What? What do you mean we'll find out? If you were really about your shit, you would just fucking do it. Okay? If you were really about your shit, you would just do it. And you know, honestly, when he says shit like that, it just kind of goes out in one ear and out the other, because it's like, at this point, I don't believe it, because you're doing all this talking, just like when you got popped by Moolah, which, I'm sorry, Moolah was definitely in the wrong in that situation. Like, and I don't even like Moolah. But even in that situation, I noticed Kerrion was doing all that after he got popped, and I'm just like, I don't know, for somebody, I don't know. He does a lot of talking, like, I don't know. But he's like, it's real bad boy shit. I'm like, and he's basically like, I'm just getting in their heads and da 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 da. I'm like, you're getting in their heads, like, what? I'm very confused there. But all right. So, you know, basically Kerrion does address the whole Milan thing. He says Milan acts like he didn't do anything, and he says he's a manipulator. But at the same time, I don't know about all this, because, like, at the same time, you're kind of acting like, they're both acting like the victim, in my opinion. Like, both of them are acting like the victim. Like, let's keep it 100. They both are acting like the fucking victim in this situation. I mean, Milan has more of a victim complex, but it's just, I don't know. Let me know what y'all think. Because I personally feel like Milan definitely knows he's playing the victim, but Kerrion just has this victim complex that he just does it, and he doesn't know that he's doing it, I feel like. So I don't know. Let me know what y'all think though. So, you know, Kerrion mentions again, you know, he's playing mind games and holding back because I guess it makes people like nervous or want to shit themselves or something. I'm like, no, I don't know about that. Because he's like, oh, they see I can take a hit without smacking the fuck out of somebody, you know, it, like, I don't think so, Kerrion. I really don't think so, Kerrion. I really don't. I think you're doing something, but you're making them think something, but it's definitely nobody's shitting themselves because you took a hit and didn't do anything. I'm telling you, because I'm telling you, somebody like Anthony. I don't even know what's gonna happen, like, cause I don't know about any spoilers or anything about this season, but all I'm saying is somebody like Anthony in this house, like, or Dylan even. Listen, those two, they'll take opportunities, and I said what I said. People like that will take opportunities for some camera time or to show that they're the baddest or whatever, you know, because those two, I feel like, think they need a little redemption as of lately. And all I'm saying is you don't want to get knocked out by one of them. It will not be a good look if you do. So anyways, after all that back and forth, Jonathan shows up. So those of you who don't know Jonathan, his name is Jonathan Wright. He's a celebrity hairstylist from Dallas, Texas. Apparently he's done Nicki's hair, he's done Cardi B's hair, Lil Kim, Megan Thee Stallion, people like that, real big names. So, Jonathan's, gets there, at all the introductions and stuff like that. Everybody's, oh, hi, Jonathan, hi. After all that, it really wasn't a whole lot to that whole part. So then, Jonathan's like, oh, well, where's my room? And, everybody's like, oh, upstairs, And a few of the boys do go and, kind of show him around the house, show him all the rooms and stuff. So, when it came down to it, there were only like 3 rooms available. One of them being the master bedroom, which Milan claimed in the first episode, to himself. And then I think probably Dylan's room, but I have a feeling Dylan probably ended up taking the big bed because, he was sleeping on that small thing. I won't even call it a bed at that point. It wasn't even a bed. But, he was sleeping on that. But, Dylan probably claimed that bed since William left. So, Jonathan wasn't going to sleep on whatever the fuck that was, because Jonathan's a big dude, tall and big. Like, Dylan is kind of looks like he's like smaller, he's small, like on the average side, or even short. I don't know how tall he is, but he looks like he's probably short, to be honest. So he could probably get away with that. He's short and small, small frame, So he could get away with sleeping on something like that. And then Relly, has a small twin bed, I think, in his room. And, Relly is just like, I'm not sharing a room. But Jonathan, he's like, this is too small for me. This bed, this twin bed, So, obviously Jonathan's like, nope, I'm not sleeping in there anyways. So, Relly didn't even have to worry about that shit. But, of course Milan is downstairs, listening to all this transpire. And and it's funny, Jonathan finds the master bedroom and he opens up the doors. He's like, oh, this is nice. And he goes, Milan, how'd you get a master bedroom to yourself? So then, Milan is downstairs and he hears all this. And he's like, oh shit. And Milan's all like, well, I ain't sharing no bedroom with nobody unless I'm fucking them. And I'm like, okay. I understand you want your own bedroom. Like, everybody wants their own room. Like, let's be real. Like, everyone likes having their own room. Damn, I don't like sharing with nobody. Shit. I went to college and I did not want to have roommates. So, I just made sure I didn't have roommates. So, anyways, all that happens. And Dylan makes this confessional. He's like, oh, I thought Milan was gonna whoop this fat bitch's ass. Dylan, shut the fuck up. So anyways, Carry On also makes a little confessional that really pissed me off. He is like, oh, Jonathan's the one that can do to somebody what I'm gonna do if I black out. And I'm like, so why haven't you done it then? Why haven't you done it then? I really want to know, why haven't you done it? You're talking all this bad shit, but you ain't doing it. What happened? What happened? I don't know. Can you elaborate? Carry On. Can you elaborate? Anyways, so everybody goes into the kitchen. They're about to toast to Jonathan's first night. Being there. Um, to be honest with you, I thought I expected them. I mean, and maybe I'm too used to how they do it in like the BGC days, where they would go out that night and everything like that. Unless that's I don't know what it was nighttime though. But like I don't know. I was expecting them to go out like after that. I don't know. It just was anticlimactic to me, to be honest. This whole scenario. Excuse me, I need to readjust here. But I don't know. But anyways, they're gonna give the toast to Jonathan, and Jonathan's like, "Oh, no lame shit, good vibes only." And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, mm-hmm." Um, then he asks, who's the leader of the house, and at first everybody's like, "Well, there's no leader in this house," and then Jonathan says, the vibe is kind of given that Milan is the leader of the house, which I guess you could say that, to be honest. Milan kind of has taken up that leader role in the house, because nobody else has stepped up. I mean, nobody else has stepped up. That's just it, like, you know. So yeah, he kind of is. Until now, of course, when Jonathan comes in. So, then Gutta's like, "Oh, I want you to be the leader. I want you to like do my wigs or something like that." Oh shit, Gutta. And then, of course, everybody's asking about hair, and then Carry On's like, "Oh, do you do retwists?" I mean, I can understand that part, because if I was on a reality show, I would want to know somebody too if they did retwist. Because matter of fact, I just got my retwist done a few days ago, so you gotta be set with the locks. But anywho, then Jonathan's like, "Well, I didn't come here to do hair. This ain't prison. I'm not about to be doing everybody's hair." I felt him on that one. Like, no. So then Jonathan's like, "Well, what's been going on in the house? What has transpired?" So then Milan takes it upon himself to once again act like he's the leader of the house. And that's another thing Milan was trying to say, that everybody's an individual there and there's no leaders. But meanwhile, he's still taking the leadership role. Once again, in this situation, he's like, "Oh, he starts out from the beginning. He's like, oh, there's a lot of drama with Andrew. Why did you even need to bring that up? I think that was so stupid, to be honest with you. I think that situation was stupid. Like, the Andrew drama, that was so stupid. Like, it just literally was. Never mind. I'm not gonna even go into that, but then he's like, then all of a sudden he's like, "Well, and there's just been a lot of drama that I didn't want to happen." Playing the victim. That's what you're doing. You're playing the victim once again. Once again, you're playing the victim, Milan Christopher. So then, here's my favorite part. I love this part of this episode. So then Jonathan looks over at Moolah, who's over in the corner just And he's like, you know, why are you so quiet? And then Moolah is just like, I'm just trying to feel your vibe out. You know, I'm trying to, see how you moving. And then and then Jonathan, he just goes, that ain't how you check out nobody's vibe. He's like he's like, no, that's how people get the wrong idea or some shit like that, you know. He's like that's the worst way to feel somebody out, to just sit there all quiet in the corner, you know. So then, Moolah says, eventually, then he decides to, be like, oh well, we were supposed to do an interview and you like didn't show up or whatever, And then basically Jonathan was like, he feels like Moolah would have tried him or some shit like that. I don't know. But I just thought that was funny as hell, personally. And then, and then he's like, oh yeah, then Jonathan asked I think Jonathan asked like if anybody got into a fight, or he asked if Moolah got into a fight. And then Moolah is, of course, is like, I fought Carry On, And Jonathan's like, why you fought Mr. Kirk Franklin? And we all know his bullshit explanation of why he fought Carry On. I'm just keeping it real. It's bullshit. Basically he was saying, oh, you're acting like you straight, and then you actually gay. You playing both sides. You moving weird. Yeah. We already know the whole song and dance of that bullshit. And then out of nowhere, here goes Carry On again. Who gonna stop me? What? Carry On, you're doing absolutely too fucking much, my guy. Anyways. So then, Carry On, chimes in as like, there's more than just gay or straight, more letters in the alphabet, And then, Jonathan agrees and, Gutta asks Jonathan's sexuality, and then Jonathan gives this answer. He's like, I'm Jonathan, Basically, kind of what Carry On was doing, but, nobody was going to step to big ass Jonathan when he said it, Let's be real. Where was Moolah then talking about, nah, you need to pick a side. You need to pick a side. Anyways. So, then Jonathan goes back to the idea of the master bedroom. He goes back to the subject. And, he asks, how did Milan get that master bedroom to himself? And then, of course, they explain, Milan fought Anthony for it. So then Jonathan just in his his confessional, he's like, well, he whooped his ass for Milan. Well, Milan whooped Anthony's ass for the bedroom. Now I'm about to whoop his ass for the bedroom. So then Milan's like, you're not going to be in my room. And then Jonathan's like, I know you want it to be your room, but I'm trying to make it our room. So then after a few awkward minutes, they decide to fucking go upstairs to the bedroom. Jonathan, Milan, and Relly. They just quietly walk upstairs, So then, basically they're in the closet in his room, and Jonathan's, got his luggage in there and stuff like that. He's taking his jacket off, hanging hanging it up and stuff. So, he continues to like low key press Milan over this room, over making a decision, like, hey, let me in this room, So then he's asking what side Milan wants of the closet, Milan's quiet. Mind you, this is not the same. This is not the same guy This is not the same guy from the past 6 episodes. That because if this was Carrion or Anthony or somebody, he would have been like, he would have been yelling and shit. He would have hit them by now, But, once again, he's not going to do all that shit with big ass Jonathan. So then, after all the back and forth, Jonathan is like, you know what, we'll continue this later. He decides to go stay in a hotel. And then after all that, it's the next day. And Milan's on the phone with his friend Rio. Now, apparently Rio actually does become a part of the cast or something like that. Which I don't understand, but I don't understand, like, I don't know. But, he's talking about the pool party, he wants Rio to pull up basically to the pool party. But also he's like, I also have another request, He's like, this dude named Jonathan is trying to press me over this room, so he's calling him for help with Jonathan. Anyway, so not Jonathan, man, what is up with this shit today? Milan, in his confessional, he's like, I've been the one person to have everybody's back from being jumped or whatever, and mind you, nobody's gotten jumped really. Of course there was a thing where Curtis like pushed Carrion during that fight, but I don't even know what the hell. I still don't understand what Curtis's motive was there, but I don't know. I can't tell if that was like him trying to fight or he was just like, because I'm gonna be real. Like sometimes, if somebody was like pushed onto me like that, I probably would have pushed them too. But I don't know. It was a bit aggressive how he pushed him. But we're not talking about that episode right now. But Milan's basically like, I've done my time here protecting everybody from getting jumped or whatever, and now nobody's on my side, so I'm worried that I'm going to get jumped. And my thing is like, really nobody's giving that energy that they want to jump Milan. Like, let's be real, nobody's giving that energy. I don't get that vibe from any of them. Like nobody's really giving that vibe that they want to jump him or anything crazy like that. So that was definitely him being pussy. Let's call it what it is. That was him being pussy. He didn't want that smoke with Jonathan. So yeah, so that's, we get to the end of that episode, and now we going into the sneak peek. The pool party is gonna be in the next episode. One thing I noticed, Gutta took his braids out. These are just a little general things I noticed that I want to comment on. But why was Dylan wearing a bonnet? Did y'all peep that? Dylan was wearing a bonnet. Why are you wearing a bonnet? Like, did, am I missing something? Like, what do you got a bonnet on for? Like, you know what I'm saying? It would have been one thing if Gutta had it on, but you know, when he had his braids, but what are you wearing a bonnet for? So anyways, you know, it's showing the pool party, you know, Rio pulls up to the party. Apparently William came to the party too, from the looks of it. And you know, Anthony is like, what is he doing here? And, you know, why is he here? Next thing I know, it looks like Anthony's running up on William for whatever reason. I'm like, and then, you know, of course, they showed a sneak peek of Jonathan and Rio's fight, you know, where Jonathan is knocking the Mario coins out of Rio. Like, Milan, you really called Rio over there to get the Mario coins beat out of him. Come on now. Or, I'm sorry, was his hair fake? Because I know, I saw, like, you know, his red locks laying on the floor while they were fighting. I'm like, is that fake hair? I I didn't know if that was like fake hair or what, but because I know he has short hair now, but I don't know, were those faux locks or what? Because I was very confused on why they were falling out left and right while they were fighting in that trailer. But anywho, that was the end of that episode. So now I'm gonna go into my final thoughts. Y'all already kind of heard some of what I think, but my main one in this episode, Carry On talks a lot of shit. Carry On talks a lot of fucking shit. Okay? Listen, I'm sorry, but I was team Carry On for a little bit, but now it's just getting on my fucking nerves. Like, it's tiring. It is tiring to listen to this man carry on. Like, it is tiring. And like, you know, I understand, like, he's got some shit going, I don't know. At the end of the day, I don't like, I don't care if he can't fight or whatever. That's not the issue. But like, don't be acting like you're gonna fade the fuck out of somebody and then, you know, have no follow through, you know? Like, it's just a lot of big talk for somebody who is not gonna do nothing. And so I don't know. It's just not sitting right with me that he's got all of this to say. And meanwhile, he's out here looking like a deer in the headlights when somebody actually does something to him. Like, what? But, you know, I just think he was acting a whole fool in this episode. Like, he was just acting a fucking fool in this episode, in my opinion. You know, like I said, I was team Carry On for a while, but, you know, and, you know, oh, and I remember, I don't think I included this in my notes either, but when him and Relly had that whole conversation, he's like, you know, Carry On's like, oh, you know, I got attacked by, you know, the straight side, you know, aka he's talking about Moolah, you know, hitting him. And then he's like, oh, then I got attacked by the gay side, you know, and, you know, Milan, obviously. But, you know, but yeah, he's like, both sides are on some weird shit. And I'm like, you know, and I don't know if y'all remember, but when he got hit by Moolah, he said that in the kitchen. And I'm just like, well, how are both sides on some weird shit? Because, well, they weren't on some weird shit when they were on your side, but you still managed to say some shit like that. Like, what? when the gays were on your side, you had nothing to say. Well, you said the same thing, but I'm like, how are they on some weird shit when they were backing your ass up? Like, I don't know. Carry on. Um, Carry on is just a lot, in my opinion. He was a lot in this episode. I'm just gonna keep it real. But now I'm gonna move on to Mr. Milan Christopher. You are not Natalie Nunn. I know you're trying to be the Natalie Nunn of this franchise, but you are not Natalie Nunn. Here's why. Would not have done no shit like that. She would not have let nobody punk her like that. Natalie would not let nobody punk her like that. And I didn't even like Natalie on when she was. I don't even like Natalie, but let's be real. She is not gonna be sitting up here calling a henchman over to get their ass beat. And then, Milan likes to play this whole victim shit like he's the main character. So you're just really doing the most for camera time. You're doing the most for no reason. Just like all just to make yourself look crazy as hell at your great age. Like, that's not cute. It's not a good look. You're 38. Acting a fool like you're some fucking middle schooler, some middle school girl. Running up on everybody and, over shit that ain't got nothing to do with you. It's old. It gets real old. So what, you're gonna keep doing this until you're 50 or something? You're gonna keep doing this until you're 50? Running up on people on TV and at what point do you stop? I don't know. But, I'm trying to think if there was anything else. As far as the whole beef between the two, Carry-On and Milan, I personally don't think a house meeting was needed. I think what was needed was a one-on-one. And here's why. Because at the end of the day, when you've got all these people in your ear and shit, saying all this messy shit, this and that, shit's going to get escalated. So, we are having this whole house meeting about just, this individual beef. No, you need to have a one-on-one. That's what they need, a one-on-one. To really get shit off their chest. No cameras, no fucking other people in the room. Just them two. They just need to talk the shit out. Like, that's how shit's gonna get resolved. Like, it just seemed so pointless. It was like the most pointless house meeting ever. And then, Moolah getting them back down there. What the hell did we resolve? What did we resolve? Nothing. So, I think the whole house meeting was just really pointless. But yeah, I really don't have anything else. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. But yeah, that's basically, that wraps this review and recap. And yeah, leave a comment down below, like and share and subscribe. And yeah, I'll be doing more reviews and reaction videos. So keep your notifications on for this channel. And yeah, I'll see you in the next review.